All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Athlete Artist Show. I am the artist Kyle Forge alongside the athlete professional hockey player Zach Boychuk. Season 5. I guess we technically started season 5. We teased season 5 a little bit ago, but now we are in the thick of things. NHL Playoffs starting tomorrow, Saturday, April 19th. But Chucky, you are balls deep in the finals of the Penny Dell Championship right now. Game 1, stomped them 5-1 yesterday, going for the 4th championship in 5 years. How's it feel to be back in the championship right now?
Yeah, it feels pretty good. Obviously, we had a great season, regular season this year. We felt like, our team had a really good chance at, competing for a championship. And the first two series that we played went really well. Obviously, we got the sweep against Mannheim and Straubing. I think we won that series 4-1, but was a lot closer than a 4-1 series. And now we got Cologne in the finals. Got the first game out of the way with a big win. So hopefully we can rattle off three more.
Out of the 3 championships that you guys have won so far, how many of them was the clinching game at home?
It was the first one,
It
but
was
it
just
was
the first one.
COVID, so there was no fans here at all. So it was the next two. There was one in Munich that we had, and then one in Bremerhaven, where the families got to come all the way to Bremerhaven, and but yeah, it would be really really cool to win it at home, but we'll see what happens.
And the Berlin fans must just be itching for that. Like I could just imagine how psychotic they will get if you guys win the championship at home in that arena.
That would definitely be cool, but I know they did it back in the day, probably like in the early 2000s or mid 2000s when they won one of their whatever 10 championships. And there's like videos of guys like jumping in the hot tub and partying at the arena basically till like 5 a.m. So um I'm really hoping that we can get these three more wins.
How good of a team? Who you guys playing again? Cologne.
Yeah, we got Cologne right now. They were
The,
sixth seed and kind of had a couple upsets.
hmm.
Beat Bremerhaven in the first round, and then last round they beat the top seed Ingolstadt. So they're a good team. They play really solid defensively and you know find ways to lean on their goaltending and then score when they have the chances. So it was a close game yesterday, 2-1 going into the third period, and then we got a couple power play goals and put it up to 5-1. But yeah, it should be a good series.
Exciting times, and you would go back for game 4 for those people
I'm
who don't
back.
know.
Yeah,
You're suspended still currently.
yeah. I got two more games to go for my suspension. So um, sucks watching the boys, but they
Yeah.
obviously picked us up last night and got a huge win for us. And it's funny, there's like some videos online of all the scratches and suspended guy like me, some injured guys. We're all in the box, and every time the boys scored a goal, we're all like fist bumping and still feel like we're part of it. And obviously, we had practice today and just trying to stay ready for the next two games to get in that fourth game.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's good that you guys are still. When you said you didn't travel for the away games, I was like, man, that must be really tough, especially in playoffs, not
Yeah,
being able to travel with the boys.
yeah, because right now we're flying private, so the plane only seats like I think 30 guys, and with all the staff and everybody going on the trip, there's not any room for the suspended or scratch guys. So um, right now, watching the away games on TV, it's tough and gets pretty nerve-wracking.
You'll probably go with them for the these 2 away games, the first 2 away games for the championship, though, because if you're returning
Well,
game
it's
4.
it's just a 1-1-1. So this
Oh, that's right.
Saturday they go there. I won't be going on that game, but obviously game four, when we're in Kelowna, I'll be dressing that game. So
I forgot that it alternates. It doesn't go. It's not 2 home, 2 away, and then alternate.
yeah, yeah. They got on a bus last night after the game. Probably didn't get home till like 5 or 6 in the morning. So
Damn, they're bussing,
Uh,
eh? They don't get
I'm
the
pretty
jet.
sure, yeah. They came the night before, which, they get a sleep in the hotel room um and didn't have a lot of time between series, so they're probably pretty tired and but obviously they got a home game and we got to take the 2 points from them in their barn.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. Congrats on making it this far again, and good luck the rest of the way. I think we'll probably have another episode before you guys have a chance to close it out. But yeah, super exciting stuff for you over there. I mean, potentially four championships in 5 years is insane in any league, especially at the professional level. NHL playoffs ready to kick off here, Chucky. We got our brackets made. What are your first initial thoughts on teams that made it to the playoffs and kind of the last couple days of the regular season? For some teams, it really came down to it. Came down to those last 1 point, 2 points. Tiebreaker you saw with St. Louis over Calgary. Yeah, what are your thoughts there on the teams that kind of just made it in?
Yeah, I feel like I would have liked to see somebody squeak in on the last day, but obviously the teams that had their playoff spots kind of cemented, kind of held down the fort. And I think Minnesota probably with the craziest one. I think the last 20 seconds of their game 82
Yeah.
scored and then won in overtime. Otherwise, the Flames would be in the playoffs right now. So, and then good to see another, I guess, Canadian team. Obviously, the Canadiens, Montreal. I liked seeing them get in. I mean, Columbus would have been a storybook ending for them to
Yeah.
make it after what they've gone through. But lots of Canadian teams in it, and I feel like the race is kind of wide open for the cup this year. Like, who knows who's going to win? There's not really any dominant teams. I feel like there's just a lot of teams that have a chance to make a run.
Yeah, it's going to be super interesting this year. I mean, I'm super excited to see how Ottawa does. I mean, Brady Tkachuk's
Battle
going
of
to
Ontario.
Battle of
That'll be a good
Ontario for one.
first
Yeah,
series.
huge. That'll be a massive series, especially for Canadian hockey. But I mean, for Brady Tkachuk too, the guy's been itching to get in the playoffs since he came in the league. I mean, he's one of those guys. I mean, you see Matty play all the time. Won the cup last year. Exact type of guy that you want to have in the playoffs, and Matty always comes alive in the playoffs if he's not costing you penalties. But Brady Brady has been itching for this opportunity for what's he been in the league, 7 years now, 8 years now.
Yeah, and he's kind of hurt right now too. Like I
A
know
little
I know he
banged up.
didn't play the rest of the game. I don't know if it was last night or game 81 or 82, but obviously in the playoffs it's all about that physicality and whether you go over the line or not. And I feel like he's gonna have to kind of tiptoe. Maybe the injury will kind of be good for him because then he won't be taking bad penalties. He'll just be out there, trying to score and I'm sure trying to rough up the other team at the same time.
Especially the Leafs, yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know how bad the injury is, but for someone like him, I can't see him. At least he's gonna try not to let it bother him. I think he's gonna be a similar player, at least for this first series especially, and then he'll kind of see if Ottawa ends up getting past the Leafs. He'll probably reevaluate and see how beat up he actually is after a series like that, and be like, okay, maybe I have to alternate some things to still be productive and produce and help the team without taking myself out of it completely or making an injury worse.
Yeah, and if they beat the Leafs, he could end up playing his brother down in Florida. So
Yeah.
both of them would definitely be quite a sight to see in the playoffs against each other.
This episode of the Athlete and Artist Show was proudly brought to you by SpinBet.com, Canada's #1 online casino and sportsbook. It's NHL playoff season, and if you're not betting with SpinBet, then what are you even doing? Whether you're backing the top-ranked Winnipeg Jets, riding the underdogs, or just here for the overtime chaos, SpinBet.com has the best odds, the hottest promos, and the smoothest platform in the game. And right now, SpinBet is handing out one of its biggest offers yet, a 200% first deposit match up to $2,000 plus 100 free spins exclusively for Athlete Artist Show listeners. Go to spinbet.com and use the promo code AthleteArtistShow. All one word. This one's for Canadian players only and for the first deposit only, so don't miss out. Head over to spinbet.com, smash that sign up button, claim your bonus, and get in on the action. Spin bet, where the real ones play and the smart ones win.
That would be unbelievable in the playoffs. Should we start with this, since we're talking about this Eastern side? Should we start with this Eastern side of the bracket?
Yeah, I got the Leafs beating Ottawa, but I don't know.
Okay.
I think that's going to be the best series that everybody's going to be watching.
How many games do you think it's gonna go?
I got 7 games
You got
on mine.
Yeah. So I have 7 games, but for the Sens, I think the Sens are gonna get past them.
Yeah, it could happen.
I think Brady's just gonna run through the Toronto Maple Leafs.
I'd love to see
Especially
it.
if Revo's still in the minors. Like I don't know how Toronto isn't bringing up Revo for the
Oh,
playoffs.
I know. You might have to bring him up for a game or two if the series kind of gets out of control.
Absolutely. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me why he wouldn't be in the lineup.
Yeah, I don't think Scott Lawton is going to be able to answer Brady Tkachuk.
No, no. Revo is again, like you look at guys that need to be in the playoffs. He's a character guy. He's a room guy, and he's not going to let you be throwing your body around at their star players out there. He's going to be taking runs at your star players too. So
Yeah.
that's a playoff hockey player, and I think it's a mistake for them to be keeping him down in the Marlies.
I wonder how like Marners and Matthews are gonna perform this playoffs because they've always been criticized, especially for the first round knockouts, and
Yep.
this is gonna be a huge one, especially with Marner needing a new contract after the season too.
Yeah. Do you think this is going to be kind of a decisive run for Marner to kind of see what's going to happen with him next year? Like, do you think
Yeah,
outside of the number of what he'll actually earn and the term, but whether he stays in Toronto at all?
yeah, I think if they don't move it past the first round, I think they got to make a change and he'll go sign a big ticket somewhere else. You know, he got another 100-point season this year, but Matthews kind of had a down year. Their core four, who knows if Tavares is going to be back, so they could really blow the whole thing up if they don't get by this first round.
Where do you think Marner goes if he doesn't stay with the Leafs?
I don't know. People are saying like Utah. Obviously, you got to look at some teams with cap space, and he's going to be looking for 7 or 8 years, whatever it is. Obviously, or I guess it'd be 7 if he the open market.
Yeah.
But got to be at least 12, 14 million, kind of in that range, and who knows who can afford that.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. Another rivalry game, first round, Tampa, Florida, Sunshine State, the Battle of the Sunshine State. We saw this series a few years ago, which was just insane. Tampa, Florida. It was a bloodbath that first round. Who do you think's getting out of this one?
This is going to be a coin flip. I think it's probably going to go 7 games. I got Tampa beating them. I think they're a lot better this year than they were in recent years. And, Kachuk hasn't played in a while. I don't know if they're that hungry after winning last year. I feel like, they got a couple injuries here and there, and I don't think they're as deep as they were last year.
Yeah, that's fair. This is going to be another one that could go either way. I've got Florida in 6. Now that's obviously I picked that based on if Maddie comes back and if they get some of these injured guys back early. But if not, I mean it could go either way regardless. I think Tampa's obviously been a dynasty for a few years now. Obviously the last couple of years not as good as they were in the heyday in the back-to-backs, but Stamkos not being on the team this year was interesting for them. I thought that would affect them a lot more than it did. And I thought Stamkos would go and shine a lot more than he did in Nashville. Obviously,
didn't work out too good for him this year. Yeah.
No, besides the paycheck, yeah.
He got paid, but obviously Nashville was one of the worst teams this year, lowest scoring team.
Yeah.
And you look at Tampa, they're still high flying, buzzing. Obviously, Point had a great year. Kucherov, how many assists did he get? Like,
yeah,
he's up there again for the Hart, and
121 points.
I think Hagel, he had like 35 goals, not one on the power play, like set a record.
Yeah, NHL record, crazy.
I can't believe it. Is he not on the power play, or he just can't score on the power play? 35 goals.
I don't know, but 35 goals in overall is good. Never mind 35 5-on-5 goals.
Oh, it's insane. I'm sure he has a few shorthanded handed goals in there, but yeah,
Probably, yeah.
impressive.
Next series, Washington, Montreal. I think this will be another good one. Obviously, Washington has been on a storybook season with Ovechkin breaking Gretzky's goal record, and not only breaking his record, but breaking it in a season where he literally broke his leg early on and then came back like nothing ever happened. So these guys have been riding a high for the last few weeks. But Montreal, I mean, these young kids, Hudson, Caulfield, these guys have taken control of this team.
Coming in, he looked pretty good in his debut.
Yeah, Demidov was buzzing in his debut. A little bit slower in his second game, but had some great chances still. But I mean, yeah, that addition at the end with the team that they already had, I think is going to be huge for them. A guy that's already, he's not just coming out of the NCAA or coming out of junior. He's been playing pro hockey against men in Russia, and that's you've played in that league. It's definitely not an easy league. So
it's a tough league to score, that's for sure.
And,
and he had a really good year this year. So
yeah, and he comes over right away, is an immediate impact. So I've got the Habs winning in 7. What are your thoughts on this series?
We're opposite on every single one so far. I got the Capitals winning in 6.
Okay, in 6. That's the first. Okay, yeah, the last one I picked 6. This one you're picking 6. But opposite on every team. Okay, this is gonna be interesting. We're gonna be battling on spin bets on Twitter here for the first round.
We might be just picking overs and unders.
What are your thoughts on why are you picking the Caps on this one?
I just think that they have the experience, and obviously Ovechkin is just it's been a storybook career or storybook year for them. Nobody picked them to make the playoffs. Everybody kind of thought they were going to be in last place, and I don't think anybody thought he would put up 40 some goals again either. Like if he was healthy the whole season, he probably would have won the Rocket again this year at 39, 40 years old. So I think just the way they built their team, their goaltending looks really good. They have 2 goalies that could play. Their D, Chikrin was a huge addition. They've just kind of retooled their whole squad, and they got some young guys playing really good. I think that Protas, he's got like 30 goals or something. And I don't think he had any power play goals either. So he's another one of those guys like Hagel. But yeah, they just got a really strong team. I don't think the Habs can compete with them.
Stromer had another good year too, 82 points,
yeah,
per game guy. I mean, it's nice to see him really finding his way in Washington after the start of his career. Obviously, you could see that he had the potential to be a star, but with the teams that he was on, either not getting the opportunity or just not having the right guys around him. But really found his way in Washington, especially playing with Ovi and these guys. And
another Chicago Blackhawk cast off. They didn't sign him, or they didn't give him a qualifying offer. They just let him walk for free, and he goes and lights it up. And I think Hagel was the same thing. They traded him away. Like, tough to be a Blackhawks fan right now, eh?
Yeah, imagine the lineup they could have right now. But I mean, if they kept those guys, they probably wouldn't have Bedard. So who knows
that's
what
true.
will happen.
And they probably should have drafted Demidov too. Like, look how good he's looking.
Yeah, I have one of my close friends. He's a huge Blackhawks fan, and he was saying, yeah, they thought about it, but the risk was just he guesses it was just they didn't know when he was going to be coming to play. And I'm like, frick, you look at a guy like that. That's especially when the
him
Hawks
playing
are as
with
bad
Bedard
as
would be nice.
And especially with the Hawks as bad as they are, like you can wait those couple of years for this guy to come over.
Exactly.
Next game, Carolina, New Jersey, the team that drafted you, Chucky. I'd be a little surprised if you didn't pick them.
I picked Carolina. Can't go against them.
So this is our first agreement. I picked Carolina in 6. How many games you got it going?
I got 5 games.
You got 5 games?
It's going to be a shellacking, hopefully. I think Carolina's really good again this year, depending on how their goaltending is. But New Jersey just has been kind of struggling this year, so I don't see them giving Carolina a chance.
Yeah, and I almost picked 5 games too, but I was like, I don't know. If it kind of depends how Markstrom plays too for the Devils, but I don't see the Devils pulling this one out. But Carolina will be interesting, especially with the trades that they had earlier in the year, like getting rid of Natchez, and then Rantanen not
Rantanen
working out.
basically leaves. Yeah.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts there? How do you think these guys are gonna get it going in the playoffs?
I don't know. I think obviously it would have helped to have Rantanen, but they picked up some good guys, and Taylor Hall, he's been doing pretty well, and they still got their core guys with, Svechnikov and Aho, and obviously Nietzsche is gone, but I still think just the way they play, the way they're coached, they put up a lot of shots, and they just can't be stopped. So I think Markstrom has been playing great this year, and I think New Jersey has a few injuries, and it's gonna probably bite them.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Carolina lineup right now. It's interesting. I mean, you got Halsey up there, probably playing first line, top six. And then you have Logan Stankoven, who's an absolute stud. I mean, I've loved that kid ever since I watched him in the Max
Yeah, what
tournament years
does it
ago.
have his? Do you have his numbers? I think he's been pretty solid since he came over. He was struggling a little bit this year in Dallas, which is probably why they were able to part with him. But he's going to be a stud in Carolina for a lot of years to come, I think.
Yeah, he's had 9 points in 19 games for Carolina, and then he had 29 and 59, 29 and 59 for Dallas. So, yeah, a little bit slower of a year compared to the year before, but I mean, it's his first full year in the NHL, so I mean, he's not doing too bad.
No, he's going to be a good player.
Over to the West, Winnipeg, St. Louis. I've got Winnipeg going in 6. They've been a tough team all year. I mean, obviously the best team in the league pretty much all year long. The goaltending is lights out. Their offensive game has been lights out. Chucky, what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I agree. I think with Hellebuck, he hasn't performed very well in the playoffs, but I think he's really going to answer this year. They've just been so good all year. Obviously, St. Louis went on that long winning streak and just kind of snuck into the playoffs. But when the chips are down, I think Winnipeg is better all around, and a little bit older, a little bit more experienced, and unless Binnington stands on his head and Hellebuck, crashes and burns, I don't see St. Louis winning very many games this series. So I have Winnipeg winning 4-1 in the series.
You got him in 5 games too. Interesting.
5 games.
St. Louis will be interesting as well. Like, see how Holloway does. I'm excited to see how Holloway does it in the playoffs for St. Louis.
Yeah, he was buzzing in the playoffs last year for Edmonton.
Yeah, he did really well. So I mean, I think it could come down to how well he plays too with the new team. Obviously, like you mentioned, Binnington and Hellebuck, kind of a battle, a goaltending battle there. You saw how Binnington played in the Four Nations. So hopefully, I mean, if you're a St. Louis Blues fan, he can pick it back up and carry that team through the playoffs too. But yeah, I'm with you. Except mine's in 6 games. Winnipeg over St. Louis, Dallas, Colorado. This is going to be a great series, I think.
Yeah,
I think it could go either way. I have Colorado winning in 6, but I think that might be now that I'm looking at it, it might be reaching. It could be reaching a little bit depending on how the series goes. Because obviously Dallas has been playing really, really well, especially the last few games. But they just lost Robertson the other night, kind of against Nashville too. So that could affect him. I don't know how long he's going to be out. I forget what the injury was, but it's going to be at least the first game of the playoffs. That was I was shocked that they had all of their starters out against Nashville in that game when they had already clinched a spot. It was a nothing game, and they got pumped too. So.
Yeah, they're calling this the Rantanen Bowl. Obviously, he's playing against his old squad in Colorado. Now he's in Dallas, and I think it's a coin flip. These are 2 really good teams. Sucks that they're playing against each other in the first round, and you're going to lose one of them. But I got Dallas winning in 6. I just think Colorado. There's just too much drama in Colorado. I think they've had. Obviously, a good season. You never know with McKinnon and Makar. They're going to play great, but losing Rantanen and bringing in a bunch of random guys who I don't know how they're going to perform in the playoffs, and their goaltending isn't quite playoff tested either, and I think it's going to be a good series. I think is it Heiskanen or Heskinen on Dallas? He's hurt, so that doesn't help Dallas, but I feel like Dallas has enough depth that I think they're going to pull it out against Colorado. So that's our one difference on the West now.
Yeah. Yeah, but like I said, I think that can go either way. Like my Colorado in 6 might be a bit of a reach, depending on how that series goes. But it's tough for me to pick Dallas. I hate looking at those jerseys. I think Sagan's still soft for blocking me on Instagram years ago. So I'm still a little bit bitter there.
Yeah, they got to bring back the 1999 Star jerseys, or the one that Hull was wearing.
Yeah.
I like those ones a lot better.
Yeah, way better. Way better. Last game of the first round on the West. Oh, sorry. 2 games. There's 2 games left. My bad. Vegas, Minnesota. I got Vegas beating Minnesota in 5. I don't know about you, but I think this is going to be a slacking.
That'll be a cakewalk. I don't think Minnesota has the strength to go up against Vegas.
No, not at all. Vegas has been a powerhouse all year. Eichel, 94 points. I mean, Boley for Minnesota is nasty. I think he's a sick player. He's going to be a sick player. But, yeah, I just don't think Minnesota has the roster to stand up to this powerhouse Vegas team. And somehow Vegas is always keeping these guys intact and doing something with their roster to get them back to the playoffs. And
their decor is insane. Like, oh, man. And, like, their 3 centers, I think Carlson's on the 3rd line, Eichel first line, like, Hurdle, like those are big, strong centers that I don't know how any team competes with that.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough to get anybody by them. But yeah, I think that's our first. Is that our first full agreement, team and games?
I think so.
Or
no, maybe we got that Winnipeg one in 5 as well.
I haven't winning in 6. I have Winnipeg in 6. Yeah.
Okay, so this is the first real.
Yeah, so the first
full agreement.
First agreement, cakewalk, Vegas. Sorry, Minnesota, but tough. At least you made the playoffs. Here's where I think we're gonna be completely different. Kings, Oilers. Chucky, what do you got?
I got the Oilers. I just feel like they kind of are in the Kings' head and always seem to find a way against them. I don't think Edmonton's gonna go on a long run like they did the last couple of years, but I got Edmonton winning in 6.
In 6? I got Kings in 7.
Kings in 7, of course.
Kings in
7.
Oiler hater. I got the this is my upset. I think if you want to pick an upset, this is the one to pick. I think I picked it last year too, or the year before. How many times in the last few years have they played each other? Oh, sorry, bud. Annoying the cat. I'm yelling.
This is the fourth time, I think, in the last 4 years.
I think I've picked them every time.
Ekholm's hurt for Edmonton, so that's not good. I don't know if he's going to be back for the playoffs at all. Definitely not the first round. So,
well, aren't McDavid and Draisaitl hurt too? I don't know how
they're kind of nursing some sort of injuries. Yeah,
I'm assuming they'll be back though. I haven't heard anything about them staying out for playoffs, but
no, they should be back.
Yeah, I mean that's a big target right there. Having 2 of the best players in the league, definitely the 2 best players in your team injured, beat up going to the playoffs. It could end up looking like the Flames Oilers series from a few years ago with the Flames just hacking at Draisaitl's ankles.
Yep, it's probably going to be a lot of dirty plays behind. I'm sure each teams are doing their homework on who's injured and what kind of injuries they have. And they already had a game a couple days ago, and I think Edmonton didn't dress like half their guys. They were either hurt or whatever. Called up a bunch of guys, and Deneau did an interview after the game and said that they were trying to hurt us and all this. It's like, oh, playoffs are starting early for those 2 teams.
Yeah, he's like, I think they just have their B squad in there trying to hurt us. And I think they went to Perry after, and Perry was like, well, what do you want us to do? Like, half the team's injured.
Look at our lineup.
Yeah. So that's I figured we were going to be different on there. Honestly, like looking at it from a not Oiler hater perspective, obviously Edmonton has a very good chance at winning there. They've got a sick team, especially if everyone stays relatively healthy and they get Ekholm back. But I don't know. I don't think they'll go, if they do get past the Kings, I don't think they'll go nearly as deep as they did last year. That brings us to the second round. East, what do you got? Your second round matchup. First one. What do you got?
I got Leafs and Tampa. I'm picking Tampa. And you have a completely different second round, right?
Yeah, I've got Ottawa and Florida, and I've got Florida going. As much as I'd love to see Ottawa keep it going for Brady, I just like Matthew a little bit more.
so the older brother gets that one, eh?
Yeah. So
I got Tampa.
You got Tampa. Second Eastern Conference game. Second round Eastern Conference game. What do you got?
I got the Capitals beating Carolina. I still think that storyline with Ovi, they're going to surprise some teams. I would like to see Carolina go to the finals, but I don't know. They've just haven't found ways to get it done in the playoffs. I hope I'm wrong, but Washington for me.
Interesting. I've got Montreal and Carolina. I've got Montreal beating Carolina going to the Eastern Conference final. Yeah.
You got the 8th seed with another upset.
Got the 8th seed.
This is going to be like the Panthers a couple years ago when they were 8th seed and made it all the way to the finals.
And the Kings winning the cup in when were they 8th seed? 2014.
Yeah, they actually won as an 8th seed. Crazy.
Yeah. Should we? I know that we're doing the bracket challenge on NHL.com, but they don't give us the game. Should we call games here for this second round too?
Probably not. I mean, those series are going to be close, so I didn't mark anything down for those.
Okay. Yeah, Montreal, Carolina. I got Montreal going. You got my Eastern Conference final will be Florida and Montreal, and yours is Tampa and Washington. That could be a crazy series. Second round in the West. Washington. I got Colorado beating Winnipeg.
And I got Dallas beating Winnipeg. Nobody has any faith in Winnipeg.
Damn. Nobody has any faith in any of these Canadian teams, it seems like.
Yeah, my dad does. He filled out his bracket, and he's got Edmonton against the Leafs in the finals.
That's hilarious. I think that the Oilers definitely have a better shot at going back to the finals than the Leafs have a shot at going, but I think that's a pretty that's a hot take from your dad.
The drought's probably going to continue for the Canadian teams unless the Leafs and I don't think Edmonton has a shot this year. Maybe Winnipeg, but you think Habs?
I think the Habs have a shot at going far, but I don't know. I don't think they'll win the cup.
No, they don't have the goaltending to win it.
Second round game in the West. I've got Vegas and Kings. I've got Vegas beating the Kings.
I also have Vegas beating the Oilers.
Ooh, didn't even take the Oilers to the conference final, hey?
I don't see them being that strong this year. I had them in the finals in my bracket last year with Florida winning it, and turned out to be right. But I just don't see them being as strong as they were last year.
Yeah, that Vegas team is a powerhouse, like we said earlier. So it's that series. If Edmonton does play Vegas, didn't Edmonton beat Vegas last year?
Edmonton beat Vegas, in the second round.
So that could be a rematch from last year, and Vegas get the revenge. Conference finals, I've got Florida, Montreal in the East, like I said, but I've got Florida snapping this run that I have Montreal going to the Cup final again, back to back.
3 years in a row, Florida.
Back to back. Yep,
that would be impressive. I've got Tampa beating the Capitals, getting back to the Cup final. It's been a few years for them.
Oh, so you're cutting Ovi's run short.
Ovi's run does not get past Tampa Bay.
Damn, that's crazy. That's an interesting one. So we both have a Florida team going to the Cup final again. Western side, I have Vegas beating Colorado. This was a tough one because I was trying not to follow my heart and cheer for the Avs, cheer for Nate and Makar, but I think Vegas is just the team is just too good.
Yeah, I also have Vegas beating Dallas. So I got Vegas going to the Cup finals.
So I've got Florida and Vegas. You've got Tampa and Vegas. So we're close in the final. Who you got winning the Cup final?
I got Tampa beating Vegas.
Wow.
Who do you got?
I've got Florida beating Vegas.
The Florida teams are gonna take it again. You got them winning back to back, eh?
Yeah. So we both have a Sunshine State team winning, making it to the finals and winning the Stanley Cup. What's your goals tiebreaker?
I put 30.
30? Oh, I've got 20. I think mine might be a little low.
Might have to be a sweep if you only want 20.
20 goals? I mean, two goals a game is only 7, so I mean it could be just a close series. Or sorry, 2 goals a game would be only 14, so extra 6 goals on top of that.
Yeah, if it
Close
goes
series.
7 games, you got to think. I mean, it might be low scoring, but most games are around 5 to 6 goals per game.
I think mine was a little low. I think my math was off there. I think I was still buzzing from the pre-workout. I was like, oh.
20 goals. Teams are gonna have to win 2-0, 1-0.
Some low scoring games.
Yeah.
All right, so that's our bracket. Lock it in.
There we go.
Spin
Tampa
bets.
Bay. But yeah, it's totally wide open. Like any of these teams could win.
So since we're on Stanley Cup here, we have a new presenting sponsor for the Stanley Cup playoffs here, SpinBet. SpinBet.com, casino and sportsbook. On the sportsbook side, I think this is the first partner that we've had that actually allows us to bet futures.
Nice. Thank you, SpinBet.
Which is interesting because now we can, since we've now made our bracket, we may as well throw some futures bets on here to win the cup.
Yeah,
potentially.
Honestly, I think the 2 Florida teams, they're probably their odds are actually probably pretty good.
We've got let me see here.
Who do they have as a favorite right now? Probably Vegas.
Florida's a 9-1. Carolina's a 10-1. Tampa Bay is a 10-1. Montreal is 100-1.
Yeah, they're not winning it.
So Florida and Colorado are the favorites on SpinBet, both 9-1. Then it kind of goes up from there. Tampa 10-1, Dallas 10-1, Edmonton 10-1, Vegas 11-1, Winnipeg 11-1, Toronto 12-1. Kind of creeps up. LA is 19-1, Jersey's 30-1, Ottawa 35-1. Montreal's is crazy.
So yeah,
100-1.
We could throw like $50 on Tampa, $50 on Florida, and see if one of them wins.
Those could be some good. I might put a bet on Montreal there too, just to try to win some money.
You can just give me that money if you want to put a bet on Montreal.
I mean, it's how do we know? We never know. We never know who's gonna win. That's probably what people were saying about LA in 2014 too.
Sure, that's the best part about NHL hockey. It's not like these other sports where, an 8th seed has never won.
Yeah, it's not like basketball where 3 players can carry the entire team to the final. Although, exactly. I mean, LeBron and my Lakers, Doncic and my Lakers are going back to the playoffs. So hopefully we'll get another run there. But we can go over that.
They're going to need Luka to play out of his mind to win another championship there.
Yeah, but the team needs it. The team needs it. So we'll throw some futures bets down, but let's go over some of these spin bets here. May as well just do it now for the game tomorrow. We're filming this on Friday. Game start tomorrow. I think this will drop Saturday morning, so before the games, y'all can listen to this, watch it, follow our bets. We'll tweet out these bets as well. 2 games tomorrow, Saturday, St. Louis, Winnipeg, and 3 games tomorrow. No, 2 games tomorrow. I was right. St. Louis, Winnipeg, and Colorado, Dallas. Chucky, what are we thinking here?
Well, we agreed that Winnipeg is going to win, but is it going to be over or under?
That's the thing. Over is over 5.5 is 215. Under 5.5 is 164.
So yeah, let's do Winnipeg to win, and I like the over. What about you?
The over for
do a little parlay action.
So over 5.5, and we got winner not including overtime. Okay, so it includes overtime, which is nice. Winnipeg over 5.5, first round Saturday. Ooh.
Lock it in.
Colorado, Dallas.
So
over.
You probably think that Colorado's going to win. I probably think that Dallas is going to win.
Yeah. So over under 5.5 is over 174. Under is 2. And then we can also on spin bets also gives us the option to go some other options for 3.5, 4.5, 6.5, and 7.5 as well.
I still like the over in that one.
Yeah, I could see the over 5.5 for sure.
You think over 6?
Do you think they'll score over 5.5 though? Do you think there's going to be 6 goals scored in this series or in this first game?
I think that there's always lots of jitters in the first game, so I think there's always lots of mistakes and lots of opportunities, and unless the goalies are playing well, I don't know. One team is gonna dominate.
Okay, let's hit the over on that then, and then we'll do some splits for Dallas and Colorado, and we'll see if I end up in the suspension box for betting this again like I did last year.
We'll see.
All right, that concludes the NHL playoffs portion. Chucky, some other things that we should touch on before we hop off, but you brought it up before the show. CHL guys are going to be going to the NCAA here in the next few weeks after the CHL playoffs kind of wrap up. I think we just started the second round, at least on the Western side. I think the O might be a little bit further ahead, but I don't know where the Q is at. But already you've seen a few guys rumored to be leaving the CHL, going to the NCAA. Obviously, the NCAA just concluded the Frozen Four tournament. Western Michigan, just a storybook run for that program.
The Broncos
first win in program history, first time getting to the finals in program history, and rumor is, not from the coach himself, not $1 was spent on NIL.
Crazy.
Which is
actually
nuts.
I have a buddy on my team this year, Freddie Tiffel, German guy. He played for the Broncos back in the day, so
oh really?
Kind of crazy to have a European like that go play college, and sure enough, it was the old Broncos team that got their first ever national championship win this year.
Yeah, that's it was funny when the coach was saying it on, I think it was on Game Notes, but he said not $1 spent on NIL, but that's definitely going to be changing in the next year.
Yeah, they gotta be having lots of money coming in, whether it's alumni sponsorships, all that. So
they have a brand new arena that they're building, and there's no restrictions on it. The coach said, he's like, they're giving us whatever we want.
Oh, crazy! I can't believe the setups that some of these college schools have.
It's insane. Who was the player that you brought up before we hopped on?
Oh yeah, Caden Lindstrom. It sounds like he's I think he was like a 4th or 5th overall pick to Columbus. Yeah. And former Medicine Hat Tiger. He didn't play all season this year, but he's committed to Michigan, I think.
Yeah, Michigan State.
Michigan State. Insane.
And then rumor is for Gavin McKenna, he could be. I mean, I've been hearing this rumor all since December, since another coach, NCAA coach, told me that Michigan allegedly offered Gavin McKenna $300,000 to go play for them next year.
Jeez, yeah, he's too good to be playing in the WHL. Like, he's getting 4 points every playoff game right now.
Yeah, he's got to leave a year early and go play in the NCAA. No question.
And he scored that Michigan goal the other day, so maybe that's a telltale that he's going to Michigan.
Imagine if that's how he announced it.
Some crazy goals by him in the playoffs.
Nuts. I saw the one before that where he was spinning around. I think it was I don't know if he spun it and passed it, or spun it and backhanded it, but I mean,
on the PK, on a penalty kill.
Every time I look at highlights, this kid's doing something crazy in the WHL. So yeah, this league is easy for him. It's way too easy for him.
Is he even 17 yet? Like, he's young. He's Bedard's cousin, I think. Like, late birthday.
Yeah, crazy. That's the weirdest part, is the fact that he is Bedard's cousin.
From like Yukon or something, Northwest Territories.
Yeah, it's crazy. He's he's 17. He's an 07. December 20th was his birthday, so late birthday.
I wonder if he could sign, like, cause
Matthews went and played in Switzerland a couple years ago.
He probably could, yeah, but he wouldn't be able to go to the NCAA after that, though.
He's just way too good to play in the WHL for another year.
Yeah, he's way too good to be in the WHL next year. I think NCAA would be the perfect development route for him to take that extra step, and then I think his draft year is next year, not this summer, next summer. So goes and plays at the NCAA, really gives him really pumps up that draft stock depending on how he does. I mean, the kid, he's got 129 points in 56 games this year. It's just disgusting.
Silly, yeah.
He's got
college is a little bit older guys, a little bit gets you ready for play or for pro hockey. So I think it's a perfect step for him, unless he he wants to come to Europe.
Exactly. Yeah, and he's check this out: 9 games in the playoffs, 22 points,
Insane.
6 goals, 16 assists. It's disgusting.
And they're hosting the Memorial Cup this year.
Is Medicine Hat hosting it?
I'm not sure. They might make it for sure. Like they're top seed, I think, in the East.
Rimouski's hosting this year in the Q.
Okay, so maybe next year Madison
Might
Hat
be
might
next
be
year.
hosting.
But I mean, they could make it.
Yeah, I'd like to see him play in the Memorial Cup, unless the Lethbridge Hurricanes find a way to get in there.
Yeah, they're tied 2-2 with the Hitmen right now. The Hitmen have been making a run. I mean, Med Hat swept Prince Albert, so I mean,
And I heard the Hitmen just picked up some guy from the USHL or something.
really?
Yeah, some team was just finishing. I think they must have been out of the playoffs or something. And this kid is committed to college somewhere next year, but he's already listed by Calgary this year. So he joined the playoffs like halfway through.
You're allowed to do that?
Apparently, if you're on the list. So it's completely the wild west right now. There's no rules.
Is his name Aiden Park? Is that the kid's name?
Yeah, Aiden Park.
Michigan commit for next year. Played in Green Bay. He's eligible for this year's draft, so he hasn't been drafted yet. Interesting. There's an article from the CHL that you could click that like has it announced, and then when you click it, it's like, oops, page can't be found. So I don't know. That was a day ago, so I don't know what happened there. The preview for it says the forward will be joining the Hitmen for the 2025 WHL playoffs as an affiliate player. Hitmen drafted Park with their first pick, 19th overall in the 2021 WHL Western Priority Draft. Interesting. I didn't know that you could just, I guess if he's an affiliate, you can bring him up. But that's kind of odd going straight from the USHL to the Dub as an affiliate player. Like,
yeah, and then he's going to college next year.
Sneaky.
Sneaky Calgary Hitman.
Flames just had a junior A guy. I mean, they had four rookies make their debuts last night. But one, Zane Perek, we've been waiting for him all year. I feel like he should have been on the team way earlier than he was. But this kid out of Penticton played UMass this year. Adar Suniev, I think that's how you pronounce his name.
Mm-hmm.
But kid's an absolute beast from what I've seen and heard about him. A Russian kid, big, moves the puck well. His only year in Penticton is he lit it up, 90 points. Not easy to do at 17 or 18. And then went to UMass. So good for him. Good for the Flames.
First NHL game. Pretty awesome.
Yeah, good for him. Chucky, anything else that you want to cover before we head out of here?
No, I think that Zane Perek, he's going to be a stud for the Flames for a long time.
Yeah.
I like the number 89. He looked pretty sweet out there. Obviously got a goal in his first game.
Yeah.
And just he's got so much swag, so much confidence. I think he's one of the only defensemen to ever put up like 90 points twice in the OHL. So they got a steal. He should have been on the World Junior team this year. Canada would have done a lot better with him. So good to see him have a nice debut.
Canada would have done a lot better with a lot of these guys that they left at home, including Perek.
You can't talk about them again. At least they won the World Cup.
Yeah, exactly. Perek. Hopefully Perek sticks around Calgary for a while. I mean, I know the city already loves him. And the city's tired of the guys leaving us. So hopefully he's one of those stars that sticks
young.
around.
He'll be here for a long time.
Hope so. He's got a bright future ahead of him, and he's gonna be. I mean, he's already a star here in Calgary, but he's gonna be a superstar. So, yeah, Chucky, it's good to be back. NHL playoffs getting started tomorrow. You're already in the championship of year playoffs, up 1-0. You guys will be playing again tomorrow, so hopefully it's 2-0 going into these games or the rest of the weekend. But this will be out Saturday morning. We'll put our bets out on Twitter and with Spin Bets. Thank you, Spin Bets, for sponsoring NHL playoffs with us. And we will see you all next week. Oh, we'll be streaming this weekend, I think, too. So we'll see you on the stream, and then we'll see you for another episode, hopefully a guest next week. Boom.
Peace.